How dare you tell people that it was cold when I skydived?
It was cold, man. You know, your fucking penis, you could not even see it. It was so tiny. This week on the show, we have my good friend Sebastian Terry. Sebastian wrote down a list of 100 things to do in this lifetime that are just completely outrageous. And he's been doing them one by one, and the stories he has are just wild. I'm talking about things like delivering a stranger's baby. I'm talking about things like marrying a stranger in Vegas. I'm talking about jumping out of an airplane naked. I'm talking about wrestling a crocodile naked. Actually, I don't know if he actually did that one yet because he was here alive to be on the show. But you are not going to believe this episode and the stories that come out of this man. Stay tuned because Sebastian Terry is going to blow your mind. Sebastian Terry in the house.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, my man.
Pleasure.
Every time I get together with you, my mind goes by one of the crazy things that you've done. Tell me how all that got started.
Well, that's nice. I didn't realize that happened when that's great. Well, I have this kind of list of 100 things that I'm trying to do to be happier in life. And that's kind of parlayed into this kindness movement. So I sort of make acts of kindness now. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's been going for about 10 years, basically. And I came out of, school. I didn't know what to do. I went and got a degree because I was told I should.
Mm-hmm. This is in Australia
This
or,
is in Australia.
Or America? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm Australian.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, just in case you thought.
Yeah.
So, I got this degree, and then I felt really kind of underwhelmed, and I went traveling around the world, like backpacking with no money. And I was kind of like I don't know, I was lost, just no real targets, nothing.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call late one night from a friend, and he broke the news to me that one of my close friends growing up, a guy called Chris, who I'd gone to school with and I surfed with and drank beers with, Chris had tragically passed away overnight. And I was 24, he was 24, and it rocked me, it rocked a whole community back in Sydney. And I just remember thinking about life and, asking a lot of the questions that we typically do. Why am I here? What am I doing?
Yeah. Was it like a car accident or something, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it was a party stunt gone wrong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which made it even worse,
Does that happen a lot in Australia?
Funnily enough, so I'm from the northern beaches.
Okay.
And so, which is kind of like it's a strip of, 15 or so beaches, and it's beautiful, and it's also quite enclosed. So a lot of a lot of people sort of stay there, we grow up there, you stay there, everyone knows everyone. So there actually is like quite a high precedence of like kids dying basically, like jumping into swimming pools and missing the pool. I mean, I've heard a lot of these stories, and unfortunately Chris was one of those stories.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I just remember thinking, like, as tragic as the incident was, would Chris have changed his life if given another chance? Was he happy ultimately? And I remember just thinking, I don't think he would have changed anything. He loved the beaches. He loved the culture, the way we all lived. He loved being a big kid. And I thought, well, how fortunate, I don't think he would change anything. I think he was happy. I then turned that question on myself in Canada at 24, and I just thought, well, if I died today, could I say that I lived a really cool life, or would I want to change everything? And it was the first time I ever kind of looked at my life like that. And almost instantly, I just realized, I would change everything. I had no idea who I was. Everything. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know who I was. I was just kind of very much a sheep. I had never explored myself, the world.
Had a degree that you weren't using?
I had a degree I wasn't using. Yeah. Okay. I just had this thing.
You just went to go and...
Yeah. Just told to get it.
Meet some ladies. And,
yeah, I just I just conformed to, which I think is quite a common thing. A lot of us just go along because we're told to. And I just reached a point where I was like, I'm just following someone else's blueprint here.
Okay.
Realized I was unhappy, so I thought, that's it. I'm just going to write a list of things that I think will make me happier. Things that have always just been in my mind, but I've never done. Things that I thought might make me smile, make me laugh, make me grow.
So it was like things like I'm going to meditate every day, or things like I'm going to go... I don't know. Was it like bucket list stuff?
It's bucket. I don't like the term bucket list, by the way, because it's very death-centric. It's very things to do before you die, and I think it's very fear-driven.
Okay, so this was happiness-driven.
It was happiness-driven.
You're like, what could I do to get some more excitement in my life?
Exactly.
And you just wrote down a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and it was excitement, and it was like,
go skydiving, for example.
Skydiving naked.
On there.
Skydiving naked.
Skydiving naked. Okay.
The thing about that
Forgot that Australia's got to take it to the next level.
Well, I was kind of like, I just felt like this, I felt very bundled up and protected my whole life. And I was like, I've never explored what's out there. So I just thought skydiving naked. The hard thing about that was not finding a place that wouldn't allow me to go naked. It was finding an instructor who was happy for me to be tied to him naked. Because I went with someone.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the hard thing would be the wind on your junk.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't seem easy.
No, that's not easy. No, not one part of it.
That could be like some manhood, like initiation, like a modern initiation.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
And if you ever see the video, just know that it was cold. It really was.
Okay.
So
maybe we could intersect in this interview. We could put in some shots of the, waist down.
I wouldn't. Not worth it.
Okay. All right. We're not going to see much. Okay. Got it.
But yeah, like so stuff like skydiving.
Wait.
I love that you want to talk about this.
Pause.
Okay.
How does that conversation go? Excuse me, sir. My name's Sebastian Terry, and I'm wondering if you will let me strap my nude self to you to jump out of the plane today.
That's it, but in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you naked when you said this, so that
No,
they could get a taste of what they were getting into?
No, I was clothed, and,
Okay.
and he's French, and he just looked at me and he goes, "Why not?"
Oh, perfect! You got a
yeah.
French guy, yeah. Okay.
Then it was awkward.
But it took you a few tries to get to that person, or?
Funnily enough, it was part of a documentary, so a lot of the legwork was done by a team.
Okay.
So I essentially just had to turn up, but I coincidentally, it was in this town called Maubeuge in France, and at the time they had the world, I don't know what the term is, but the world formation skydiving champions.
Yeah.
So I went up in a plane with these guys. They're in their black tight, they look great, black helmets with visors, with mirrors, and they're all sat there, and I'm just in the corner nude, just feeling awkward.
They're all, yeah.
And there's a girl next to me. I remember I think she might have been the only girl on the team.
Yeah.
And I looked at her. I was trying to be polite. I felt awkward. And I was like, "Oh, bonjour," and she just went, and just looked the other way. And I thought, "Oh, this is awkward." For 5 minutes of just ascending in circles.
Yeah.
And then I was actually quite happy to jump out of the plane.
Just to get out of the awkwardness.
Just to get out of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then we had a premiere of the documentary in Sydney when I got given it, and I invited all my friends and family, and there might have been a few hundred people there at a popular place in Sydney. And we're watching the documentary, and they hadn't pixelated the thing, so I jump out of the plane, and it's me, all of me, right there for everyone to see.
Was it in France?
What's that?
Was the documentary in France?
That was shot in France, that particular thing, but the
Yeah.
documentary screening, let's say, was in Sydney.
That was in Sydney?
Yeah, so that
Okay.
was in front of everyone I knew.
Oh,
And,
wow.
some of them still talk to me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
There must have been a little something to see then.
Well, yeah, there was a little.
Okay, good. Okay, so you're getting ready to jump out of the plane.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Are you fearful of the junk?
Of the junk? Oh, yeah.
Or is it too much adrenaline and you're not even thinking about the junk?
No, I'm super. Well, my list, everyone's list is different, but my list is driven by just trying to get out of my comfort zone. So, I'm super uncomfortable with
Like, had people done that before and
Yes. He
survived? Okay.
The instructor actually showed me, he got out his laptop, and
Okay.
he had taken out a female French porn star the week before.
Yeah, but that's different. Female don't, have the wind resistance that we would have down there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I still think it's uncomfortable for them too. But yeah, no, nude skydiving has been done. Apparently, on your 100th jump as a skydiver, you typically do it nude.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But this is my first.
Okay. Well done.
Thank you,
And
thank
then
you.
it was in a documentary.
It was in a documentary. There was a few funny things in that documentary.
Wait, so what's this documentary then? Does it have to do with the list?
Yeah, well, so this whole story is completely accidental. I didn't mean
Okay.
it to be anything. I just did it because I wanted to find happiness, I hoped. But the documentary was, I got an email. This is great. I never talk about this stuff. So I was living in Geneva trying to learn French, which is number 46 on my list.
Okay.
Get an email from Honda, the company, and they're like, hey, we're doing a documentary. There's a competition. We're trying to follow people who are trying to achieve their dreams. And
We need a motherfucker crazy enough to skydive naked.
No, so they basically said, we're taking entries for this competition. We're going to pick 5 people or something. Can you
Okay.
enter?
Okay.
And I was like, this is on email. Actually.
Wait, how'd they know who you were?
I don't know. I never know.
Like
Yeah.
MySpace or like?
Yeah. I honestly don't know how they got in touch.
Okay. Did you have a reputation back then as being a wild guy or?
No. I was just doing my
Okay.
thing. I just like writing about it. So I had like a little blog for my family and
Oh, okay,
friends.
got
and
it,
I think
got it.
that kind of, anyway. So they said, can you enter the competition? And I was like, what are you saying? And they're like, well, if you enter, we'll make you win. And I was like,
okay, yeah.
So I said yes. So we ended up it was for like Honda, right? So I think the theme was live every liter. It was like a car that was good on fuel back
What's
then.
a liter?
What's a liter? Litre, or maybe it's ER in America. It's a measurement of liquid. You know, a liter. You know, when you fill up at a gas station, you put 50 liters of gas.
Oh,
in there.
okay. It's gallons here.
Gallons.
Live every gallon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll talk to that marketing guy another time. But
So
maybe it worked though. Okay.
yeah, no. So I ended up doing a few things. I did that. I got a tattoo. I joined a protest.
Stop.
Good.
What's the tattoo?
So the tattoo is I was trying to learn French. It's ongoing battle, by the way. And
Okay.
I was reading this book called The Little Prince, Le Petit Prince, and there's a phrase in it's about this like little prince who lives on a planet by himself essentially, and it's about exploration and trying to find yourself, I guess. And he ends up on planet Earth, and he's. Do you want this story? I mean, it's just basically he's alone, and a fox kind of bounds over, and he says to the fox, "What's the secret to life?" And the fox says, "On ne voit bien qu'avec le cœur, l'essentiel est invisible pour les yeux," which is one can only truly see with the heart. The essential things are invisible to the eyes. So I was reading the book, The Little Prince. I think it's a beautiful phrase. And the documentary team like, right, from your list, do you want to get a tattoo? That'd be a good one for the show. And I said, oh, okay. And then I thought about it they're like, anything you want. So I was thinking, oh, you know, like sleeves, or I don't even know, like have something like you.
Sleeve takes longer than I thought.
It does?
30 hours on this, man. I'm not even done.
What?
Yeah. May not have done it if I had realized how much time it
So great.
Yeah.
Good commitment. This didn't take, so I ended up, I
Okay.
said, look,
So you got that phrase?
I got that here on my back.
And say it again for the folks at home.
In English, one can only truly see with the heart. The essential things are invisible to the eyes.
Nice.
I mean, that's what they tell me, it says. No, so I like it. I think it's, you know.
Yeah.
So I got that. I joined a
And just a regular location. You didn't get the tattoo, like, you know, in an exotic place in your body. You just got a regular.
Yeah, we ended up in a tattoo parlor called Hanky
Okay.
Panky's in Amsterdam, which I think is a famous tattoo place. And the guy who gave it to me, his team, his soccer team, Ajax, had lost the night before, and he had gone on a drinking rampage. So the guy giving me the tattoo turned up, and he just stinks of alcohol.
Oh,
He's
man.
Still angry.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
This is your first tattoo?
Yeah, first and only tattoo.
Man.
And I actually really like it. It's great.
Okay.
But it's in French, and even French people can't read it. So I've got to say thanks to that guy.
Well, I heard a wise fox once say that the most beautiful things in life are invisible / illegible to the eyes. You can only be seen with the heart.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should have got that.
Yeah. Okay. What the hell were we just talking about? I don't know.
We were
but
talking about a documentary.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you make this list. Did you make all 100 things at once?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It probably took a couple of months to get it all down.
But 100 was a goal. You're like, I'm going to make 100 things.
Not really.
Okay.
I just like started writing, and it was near enough 100. I might have got to 70, and I was like, well, I'll go for 100. It's funny how people think.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then and it was just full of like things that are just stupid, like.
Okay.
You
So
know,
and then you're on the path to doing these stupid, happy, contribution, wild, crazy, whatever things.
Yeah.
And that's how the documentary approach came up, because you were talking about the things in the blog?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. That's basically what happened.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm doing this, and people were interested. Because back then.
And the list was like, sorry to interrupt again, but
No, it's
this is
great.
fascinating to me. The list was in honor of your friend that
Yeah,
passed
it was-
on, and also as a sign to take charge of your own life and fuel the inner fire of things to.
That was it. I just felt like I was just floating and drifting, and I was like, like you say, I was like, I just need to take control of this. I just wanted to prioritize being happy, and I just started to learn that you can choose how you live.
What was the first thing on the list? Do you remember?
The first thing, there was kind of two that happened. There was running of the bulls in Spain.
Okay.
But then there was marrying a stranger in Las Vegas. That was number 2.
And was number 3 staying married to that stranger? Because that'd be a.
No, it didn't work out.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was kind of the first thing I did was marry a stranger in Las Vegas, which was great. It was amazing. Really weird.
Was it legal? Did you get a
Yeah.
prenup?
No. We just kind of did it. What happened was I flew to Vegas.
How do you legally marry a stranger in Vegas? Then is getting divorced on the list also, or did you plan on staying there?
It was just the ceremony and stuff. But I flew.
You realize we're going to go through all 100 things.
Yeah, I know, it's
I'm
gonna take a
gonna
while.
deeply quiz you on each one. Yeah, this might be a 4-part episode.
Well, I should say, like, the list, there's all these things, like, which are kind of like, frivolous and, weird and whatever. But it's got to a point where it's actually about community. So, I love jumping in these stories. They're quite funny. But, the really powerful stuff is the stuff I'm sure we'll talk about later. But, yeah, marrying a stranger was, I just flew to Vegas, tried to find somebody, met a stripper, mud wrestling. Her name was Crystal. Mm-hmm. She was wrestling, and I was the volunteer on pushing the girls back in because it's quite aggressive sport.
Was that also on the list? Because that sounds like something a lot of people would want to do.
Yeah, it wasn't on my list. I just ended up in a bar. I was only there to try and find somebody. And this is so fun. I never talk about this. So I'm in this bar. There's like 1,000 people in there, packed. And this guy comes out in a referee outfit, and he's like, on a microphone, "Hey guys, we've got some dirty girls mud wrestling tonight." And everyone goes ballistic. No girls in sight, by the way. And he's like, "We need a volunteer to help push the girls back into the ring." Every person puts their hand. Some men, grown men, are putting 2 hands up and just shedding a tear at the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm at the back of the room, and he picks me, and I go, "This is amazing." So I go down to the edge of the ring. When I say ring, it was a paddling pool. So I'm at the edge of a paddling pool, and the girls come in and this sort of stuff. And then he interviews me at the end of the first round, which was a tight affair, by the way. And he goes, "What's your name? What are you doing here?" And I was like, what a perfect opportunity. So I said, "I'm Sebastian from Australia, and I'm here to find a wife." And then he said, "Is there anyone in the room who blah, blah, blah?" And, the room went sort of silent, and it was weird. And then anyway, the wrestling finished, and afterwards he's like, "Let me get you a bud." My first Budweiser ever. And and since, by the way, I really quite like having a Budweiser. It just reminds me of like, I feel like I've been paid to say that. I haven't. It just reminds me of good times.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm having a Budweiser, and one of the strippers, her name's Crystal, comes over, and she's like, "Are you serious about getting married?" And I'm like, yeah, just for a day. I just want to marry someone. And she's like, "I'm not doing anything tomorrow. Let's do it." So I'm like, what? So we have a few drinks, fun night, and then I go and book the wedding, what's it called? The Say I Do wedding drive-through, a drive-through wedding parlour. And about 20 people who I don't know turn up. They're from my hostel that I'm staying in. And this is all exciting. And I'm like, this is happening. I can't believe it. And Crystal doesn't turn up. I email her.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I email her. The title was Urgent, Your Wedding. Never gets back to me. So I'm kind of like at the altar, and I'm stuck. And then I go, I need to find someone else. So I just basically look down at the crowd and I say, "Is there anyone else here who'd consider marrying me for the day? Please." And
was it a gender neutral question, or were you?
Yeah, I would have taken anyone.
You would have taken anyone. Okay.
Yeah. Thankfully, well, not that it even mattered, but yeah, Chevali, the receptionist at my hostel, said she'd do it. And she'd always wanted to marry someone for a day as well.
Did people know this was on your list, or they just?
Yeah, some people, but others were just like walking past and going, "Oh, a weird Vegas wedding, let's go." And it was just strange people, including me. I'm probably the strangest. And then she hopped on top of the Hummer. We got married. Elvis was fantastic. We signed some paperwork. I don't really remember what it was, but I just don't think about that anymore. And
so, are you still married?
No,
You sure?
No. I don't think I am. I mean, what a question. I don't know.
Do you have any kids running around that you don't know?
No, I do not know. Well, that's what. So we got married, and then Elvis was like, you can kiss your wife.
Yeah.
So that was awkward. I just met this girl, and we suddenly kissed, and it was the last time we ever touched. And I know what you're thinking, and the answer is no, we didn't. So that was that. We got married, and then she had to go back to work, and I ended up on my wedding night singing karaoke, "Jitterbug" by George Michael.
Nice choice.
By myself. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a great night. I mean, I had a good time.
Yeah.
And that was.
Wasn't it technically Wham when it was Jitterbug?
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think it was George Michael yet.
Yeah. Either way, what a song.
It's one of the best of all time, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have pipes? Do you sing?
I love singing. Yeah, I love singing. Yeah. I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay, we might have to dive into that later. Okay.
Well, actually, I mean, funny enough, so the whole list based on getting out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
I really enjoy singing. I'm okay.
Okay.
But I never do it. I never do it because it still gets me nervous to sing in front of people. And it's only because a lot of people see my list, who know of the full story and all the things I may have done and what it's turned into and blah, blah, blah. And they assume that I'm like bulletproof or, oh, that guy, he can do that. Yeah, he's got no nerves and he's fearless. And it's completely not true. I have all the same fears as anyone else. I just, I deal with them differently, as I used to at least. So the singing is an interesting one. So even still, people would be surprised. I sang in front of friends the other day, and I never do. And they were like, why don't you do this more? And I'm like, I'm just, just fearful of it, really.
Karaoke used to be my biggest fear in life.
Yeah, really?
Like above anything.
Yeah.
I didn't do karaoke until I was like, 29. And then I was tricked and dragged onto stage.
Yeah.
And it was a rap song. So that made me feel a little bit better because I didn't have to actually sing.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it. And it was like invigorating because I'd crushed my biggest fear. And then I got up and did another rap song by myself.
Wow. What song?
Baby Got Back.
Oh. Did you, with dance moves, do you dance in that one? Because it's like a...
So the first song was Baby Got Back. They brought me up with another man and 3 ladies, and everyone was kind of singing and dancing.
Yeah.
And then I knew the song. I grew up listening to hip hop. So when it came time for me to do a verse, I was able to do it.
Yeah.
And that helped. And then I got up and did Johnny Cash by myself because I felt that Johnny Cash kind of just talks. He doesn't really sing.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a big moment.
Seamless transition from hip hop to Johnny Cash.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
I did that song One Piece at a Time.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar?
No.
Man, I don't remember it. One piece at a time. But fuck, I forgot.
That's not the words, is it?
No, we might have to edit this out.
Yeah.
No. Man, it's a great song though. I think it's one of his best. It's about how he works at a factory and a Cadillac factory, and is envious of all the people who could afford the Cadillac, so he decides to sneak out a Cadillac one piece at a time.
Oh.
And then they build it, and
That's a great concept.
It's a great song. It's like a legendary American song. You need to listen to it as soon as we finish this. It's such a great song.
I do like that.
Yeah.
But I think, and so you probably felt nervous, right? And then you went, I'm just going to try this anyway. And
paralyzing fear.
Yeah.
And then I hosted a karaoke night. I had a little phase where I was a club promoter for about 5 years.
Okay.
And I did a karaoke night. It was called Bar Star Karaoke. We did it every Sunday. And that completely smashed my fear because people would want to do a song with me because I was the host of the night.
So funny.
So I got totally through it in that I'm now okay with going on stage and singing extremely badly, extremely loudly. To a fault. My wife makes fun of me doing the karaoke and is quite embarrassed. But there's something kind of fun about having your wife be embarrassed by you, I've realized in my old age.
That's like a privilege of marriage or something.
You should find your wife.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we're
and bring her to karaoke to kind of complete that, because the fact that you did it without her that night, I don't know, Yeah.
Right. Do you know what I like about that story? I like how you had a fear, you were tricked into doing it, but you did it. You could have not done it. You stood up, you did it, and what you then did was turn that into your own karaoke night, and because you took the leap, so did others.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened with 100 Things, which
that's awesome.
Yeah, I just think when someone goes and tries something, it doesn't mean that they're lucky or brave or special. They just tried, and that's inspiring. And people now get to do their stuff because of you, and I think because of me a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I actually wrote a song. It was on my list: write and perform a song.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that was terrifying as well. I did that in San Diego.
Yeah.
It was a very dull breakup song that I wrote when I broke up with a long time ago ex, and it didn't get the crowd really in the mood for partying. Yeah, I just remember sitting there going, oh, this is so sad.
Oh man.
So song choice is crucial.
Yeah, they say that public speaking fear that so many of us have comes from the tribal days.
Huh.
When if you were standing alone and there's a big group standing around you, it usually meant they were coming to kill you.
Right, yeah, okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
But that's the fear that most people have.
Yeah.
Many people say public speaking is a bigger fear than dying.
Yeah. Well, Jerry
and they
Seinfeld,
say that's the primal reason why.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld makes a joke about people would rather be in the coffin than speaking and doing the eulogy. Yeah, well, I've sort of accidentally found myself speaking, a lot now, and But I still get kind of nervous about it. But I did stand-up comedy on my list, and that helped for sure. But there is something again, it's like a lot of us were scared to be seen, you know?
Yeah.
And I get it.
And it takes a lot of practice to be good at public speaking because we all have these, ums and ahs. I'm working on my ums and ahs right now.
Yeah.
I actually have a challenge going where anytime I'm in a conversation with somebody, we call each other out on the ums and ahs.
Yeah.
And there is a fine assigned for each one. So if you wanted to play, actually, we could do this live.
I'm happy to play.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I mean...
So the fine is set by you. And it basically is determined by how serious you want to be about the game. Oh my God. So Sarah, my wife, when she makes an or an it's 10 cents. When I make one, it's $5 because I'm playing to win. I'm playing to get rid of these things.
10 cents. I don't feel she's got much flesh in the game.
She does not.
No.
No, she needs to step it up.
Yeah, I think
so. Think about what your number is, and then think about the things that you want to be fined for.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, and then I do this other thing where I pause mid-sentence where there is no comma. I just did it right there.
It was nice. I liked it, but you don't like it. You don't like the pause.
I guess it's kind of endearing in some ways, but it's not powerful, and I'm really working on my public speaking right now.
Sure.
So that's something I'm trying to work on.
Well, I can try and hold you accountable if I ever hear a or R.
$5 is my fine. What's yours?
Does it have to be financial? I mean, could it be 10 push-ups, or this is a financial? If it's financial, I feel...
No, it could absolutely be physical exercise. It could be physical pain. We could do a Singapore style lashings, whatever you want to.
Well, I wasn't thinking lashings.
Okay.
I mean, this looks like the sort of place I would find some kind of whip. That sounded weird. As I was saying that, it sounded weird, but there's just beautiful ornaments from all around the world here.
If we needed to find one, I could probably produce one.
Well, how about this?
Yeah.
What could I, for the duration of this talk, if I say, ums or ahs, call me out, and I can, maybe just you could slap me.
Okay.
Yeah. Too much.
In the face or on the chest, or
I think just a face one.
Okay, because it could be kind of interesting. I actually learned this from Australian guys at Running of the Bulls.
Oh.
They did this thing they called it the reality hand. I have no idea why they do this. But at the Running of Bulls, everyone's dressed in all white.
Yeah.
And everyone's drinking red sangria. And so what they would do is they'd take a big chug of red sangria, and then they'd put their hand on someone's chest, and they go, and just spit the sangria, and then you take it off, and there's a white handprint on the chest.
Brilliant.
But then I've seen the game played a different way, not called a reality hand, but also by Australians, where they would try to bare-chested smack each other so hard that a red palm gets left.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Australians and making handprints.
We're on the forefront of a lot of
really are, next
very
level.
progressive thinkers.
Yeah. You guys are in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the slap in the face. I don't think that would work. You seem disappointed. Okay, let's go for it.
No.
Okay.
That could be okay. I honestly don't know if I could put my heart into smacking you in the face. But I can.
Not like I don't want you to knock me out.
I can punch you in the arm though.
Just kind of like a refreshing slap. I'll close my eyes and you can.
Okay, but are we going to do it for every hour? Or are we going to keep track at the end, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just one, I think. I'm not sure this is going to work, but if you feel like slapping me, feel free. And I'll just try and not say or ah.
Okay, well, let's start and let's see how many it ends up being.
Sure.
If it ends up being a lot, maybe I could bargain with you at the end, or you could bargain with me for push-ups, cash.
Sure.
I accept crypto.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any, but sure.
Okay, all right.
That just triggered a thought when you said before, when people are surrounded by others, and you're by yourself, you feel like back in the day you'd get killed. I did this, so on my list was I wanted to be on a TV game show. So I was in Australia and I applied for all of them. Wheel of Fortune, Catchphrase, a bunch that you might not have even heard of here. The one that I actually got was a dating show, a horrible dating show where it was called Taken Out. So there'd be one guy, and then a semicircle of women, 30 women around me, and I felt like I was actually going to get killed. It's funny you say that.
Yeah.
And they all had a light on, and there was 3 stages. I'd walk down the stairs and just stand there. And if they weren't interested, they would turn their light off. They had a thing. and the light would go off. And there was 3 rounds of, that was the first one. Second one was, what's that?
That's an ah.
Oh gosh. Can you slap me now?
No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
You're gonna wait?
Yeah, we can finish the story.
Wow,
We're gonna save it for the end.
Okay.
That's an ah.
It's tricky, isn't it? So, the second round was, I say it a lot, oh my God. So how many, are you slapping me multiple times?
Well, I said I accept crypto and we can bargain at the end. You said you don't have any crypto though, so you might be getting a smack. I don't know, might be exciting.
I feel it's gonna be painful. Second round, they ask you a question. Third round, they have a video montage. Very interesting show. So interesting, he got taken off air 2 weeks after launching. Good. I do say a lot, don't I? It's really funny. So, that reminded me, 6, that reminded me of, I'm a public speaker. It's ridiculous. I felt like I was going to get killed, and that night had an interesting twist to it as well. Anyway, moving on. So, hi.
So, did you end up with a date?
Yeah, I did. I ended up with a date. Her name was Shana, and it wasn't love at first sight. We found each other through a horrible show. The funny part about the show was at the end of the show, you were matched, right? And then you had 3 hours to go in your separate ways. You weren't allowed to talk. And then if you wanted to see the other person again, you had to go to the top of a tower where there was a rendezvous couch and a bottle of champagne.
Did they film that or no?
They filmed all of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if you wanted to go, 7. I'm just going to say it a lot, and you can just slap me once very well. If you went, there was a risk that the other person wouldn't, which was awkward. Great for TV. Or true love if you both go, well, no one goes. So
Yeah.
I was always going to go.
Right, no matter what. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to be an idiot. And
Yeah.
so you get given money, and you get sent into, it was in Melbourne, Australia. So you got sent into Melbourne with pocket money to bide the time for 3 hours. I was very much younger here, I should say. I should start by saying this. I went to a bar. It was the first time I'd ever really traveled. I hadn't started this whole trip. I was just doing things domestically at this point. And I went into a bar in Melbourne called The Vineyard, and I just drank. I just had this money, and I just sort of started having beers, and I just got pretty drunk. And then I turned up to the couch later on, and she was there. We shared an awkward on-camera kiss. And yeah, it was an interesting experience.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was on a dating show as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was called a Limidate. Did you hear about that?
No,
ever?
it sounds fantastic.
It was pretty popular in the United States. It is 4 folks of one sex competing for a date with another. So the episode I was on was 4 guys competing for a date with 1 girl. Wow. But they would do it backwards also. They'd have 1 guy and 4 girls competing. But yeah, I ended up really just sticking it out and waiting for the other guys to do dumb shit, which they ended up doing.
Guys do.
So I did win, only to find out that the girl was only on the show to kind of get publicity.
Right.
She actually had a boyfriend. She was very sweet though.
Right.
We stayed, I wouldn't say friends, but I would run into her every once in a while around.
Yeah.
It was a fun experience. What's interesting though, I got recognized every night for 6 months.
Really?
It was amazing, the reach of the show. And it was just a single episode show, but they would do reruns a lot.
Eliminate.
Yeah.
Why were you on the show? Did you actually want to find love then?
No, I just went on as a fun thing to do. It was like
it is a fun
casting
thing to
call, and
Yeah.
I went and got through the casting to be on the show, and try something new, you know?
Yeah. In retrospect, I would have much rather gone on Price is Right or, Jeopardy or something.
Win something actually tangible.
Yeah. I just have a funny story. That story goes weird.
What other weird shit's on this list, man? This is
Well,
great
it's funny.
stuff.
I mean,
Wait, wasn't okay? I know. Deliver a Baby was on the list.
Oh yeah, Deliver a Baby was on the list.
Yeah.
That was that was amazing actually. That was absolutely incredible. The story goes well. I mean, eventually it gets to a point where I'm a lady who I met the night before with her family was giving birth in front of me, and I had her leg over my shoulder in a hospital. There was, a midwife there, and
so it was planned. You're like, hey, excuse me, when is this human coming out? And could I deliver it?
Yeah.
Really? Is that what it was?
Sort of. Like
Okay.
basically, I got an invite to deliver a stranger's baby in Canada from a complete stranger.
Oh, because of your blog or something like that?
At that point, it becomes slightly more popular. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, absolutely. So I flew to Tara's hometown in Canada called Regina, capital Saskatchewan. Meet Tara. Long story short, I missed a birth. 2.5 weeks later, it was an emergency delivery. The baby was healthy, but I missed a birth. And then the media had started following me, and they asked me to go onto a TV show, morning breakfast television, to talk about this thing. So I fast forward to the next morning. I'm pretty upset because I missed the birth, and that male anchor is like, "So, you failed. How do you feel?" And it was just, the whole interview was kind of quite negative. I thought, why is he being like this? He's sort of making me look stupid purposely. Very easy to do, and I don't mind being made to look stupid, but like, he just really wanted me to be an idiot. And at the end of the show, he said, "So now you failed, what are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, I actually think, there's always an opportunity in life should you want to take it, and I think I have one now." And I said, "I don't think I failed. I came here to deliver a baby. I'm not going to leave your wonderful country till I do." And I looked down the camera and I said, "Is there anyone watching who's 5 centimeters dilated or more? Please email me at seb@100things.com.au. Interview finished almost immediately, but I got 10 offers instantly.
Wow.
From people in Regina who were pregnant for me to deliver their kids. Canadians, amazing people. So the first email was from this lady called Tara. I met her that same day, met her entire family, and she said, "Yeah, we like you, so if you want to do it, you're in." And then the husband comes over to me, and he takes me to a quieter part of the yard, and he goes, it was almost too good to believe. And then he said, "Where do you want to stand exactly, just so I know?" And I thought, I just got awkward. It's very obvious where I need to stand, because I just wanted to experience, I wanted to see a child being born. I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
So I basically said that in a really awkward way. I said, I go, "To be honest with you, I'd like to stand, if it's okay with you, right in the
Thick of the action.
Thick of the action, yeah." And he went silent, put his beer down, looked at me coldly, and I thought, this is where I get knocked out, surely. And eventually he said, "Thank God, because I don't want to be there." And that's how it sort of worked out. So the next day, she happened to go into labour.
Wow.
I rushed to the hospital. It was a 13.5-hour labour. And as I said, I had one of her legs over my shoulder when it all happened. And
oh my God, you were...
Oh yeah, I was, not to look at but I was right.
Don't worry, no baby's coming out of it.
Yeah, it was incredible. I couldn't stop crying. It was just beautiful. The thing about it, actually, there's two things. One was, there was just because I think my list and goals in general for everyone, they should be about purpose. I think we all should be living a purpose-driven lifestyle, and professionally, personally, and everything else. In that room, in that moment, there was Carmen, the mum, Dane, the husband. There was a brother in there. There was 2 medical people, and there was me. So it was like 6 or 7 of us. Everyone, the only thing that anyone cared about was the health of the mother and the baby. Mm-hmm. Nothing else mattered. No one was thinking about taxes. No one was thinking about the laundry. It was just complete sheer clarity and focus. That was very interesting for me, because I was thinking, well, can you embrace that in everyday life?
Yeah.
And I think you can. The second thing for me was, complete strangers had offered me to be a part of this experience. And I asked them afterwards, I didn't before because I didn't want to jeopardize anything, but I said, why, out of interest, why did you offer that to me? Why did you offer that to me? And they said, and I quote this a lot, they said, "Passion inspires passion." And I thought, wow, that's interesting. Passion inspires passion. They went on to kind of explain that they knew what I was doing. They knew why I was doing it, because I wanted to find meaning in life.
Yeah.
And they knew I was authentic and legitimate and driven, and they just wanted to help me out. And I think it's so true. If you know someone who's passionate, you jump at the chance to help or be a part of it. I mean, this podcast, you're passionate about it. I couldn't wait to come here today. So if that's true, if passion inspires passion, which I think it does, what are we passionate about? It's such an interesting concept. And, of course, this goes way beyond delivering a baby or marrying a stranger. Like, I think it's about, being the truest version of us. Because here's the thing, I'm somewhat popular, let's say, online or, in person or whatever, because of a list. Oh, you're the guy who did that. What's the funnest thing? What's the craziest thing? And that's, there's merit to that to a degree. But really all my list is a vehicle for me to try and understand who I am, and then just be that person. I think the secret to living a life which on your last day, your last breath, you can look back and smile. I think the secret to that, for me at least, is just knowing that I was me in every aspect. If I can just be me, if everyone in the world could just be themselves, I think that's a perfect way to live. I think that's amazing.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying these stories as much as I am. I want to know from you, who should I interview next? Maybe it's your favorite celebrity, your favorite athlete, your favorite author, or just someone you know who has a story that's never been told before. Comment below, let me know who it is, and then hit that subscribe button so you get notified when I interview the person that you pick. Love that.
So that's what this is all about, really. And it's been a lot of growth. Like in the 10 years, it's been a lot of funny stories, quirky things I've done, nudity, blah, blah, blah. But I'm excited to talk about how this has sort of grown into what it has grown into.
Yeah.
Which is helping people.
Yeah, you shared with me that there was an item on your list that was help a stranger.
Yeah.
And that sent you in a whole new direction.
Yeah, entirely. Number 26 was help a stranger.
Okay.
Yeah, because the list was very self-centered at first, which is, I often talk about this, but when you get onto a plane, they'll say an oxygen mask will fall from the ceiling. Put yours on first before helping others. Sort of like a selfish notion. They'll say put it on first before your own children. Whether or not someone would actually do that, who knows? But so I had my mask on at least, and because of that, I felt very able to help other people.
Since you've done a few for yourself first.
Yeah. I think you have.
And you had, up until that point, not necessarily lived your life for other people, but lived on other people's game plan.
Absolutely.
That's set out by society. It's like go to school, get a degree, get a job, whatever,
Yeah. And then I finally gave myself permission, which again, I think is a really interesting.
Permission, man, is so interesting.
Yeah. A split-second decision that anyone can make at any time. Permission to consider yourself.
Yeah.
And I think when you do, I can only speak to me, but on behalf of myself, but when I gave myself permission to consider how I wanted to live, I just made a choice. Life, in my opinion, is all about choice as well. And I chose to pursue it, and it's turned into something different, like you with the karaoke, and it turned into something that inspired other people to sing. For me, it's turned into something where there's a big community of people like, well, if he can live how he wants, what is it that I want to do? What a beautiful question. And so, I got an email from this guy. As I started to get a bit of media, I wrote a book, I ended up doing more documentaries, one with Discovery Channel, more recently ESPN here in America, which is
really?
super fun.
Amazing.
This guy, Mark, emailed me and said, I've created a list of 150 things, would you shave my head? So I was like, that's odd. I was like, yeah, sure. So I went to Melbourne, shaved Mark's
This guy
head.
had his own list.
He had his own list of 150
And he wants
things.
someone else to shave his head, I guess. Okay.
Because he's a quadriplegic. He was able-bodied, got bitten by a tick when he was 30, I think, and got Lyme's disease. Absolutely tragic.
Wow.
So within, I think it was 6 months, went from being able-bodied to a quadriplegic, can't move a muscle in his body, cannot speak, needs 24-hour care, all the things. It's tragic. And as I was shaving his head, I remember just feeling amazing. So I was like, I've never felt like I've helped anyone. Very small thing, by the way, of course, but I just felt different. And I saw in his eyes that he felt incredible. He felt like he was the most successful person on the planet, which is what we all feel when we do something of meaning, I think. And I thought, wow, how awesome. He's happy. And I asked him, what else can I do for you? And he tried to reply, and I couldn't understand. His carer said, Mark wants to do a half marathon. And I said, that's great. How do I help? And he said to me, Mark looked at me, and it was the first 2 words I ever understood him say, and he said, push me. And those 2 words changed my life. I said, of course. I signed us up to the Melbourne Half Marathon. And 2 months later, I went back to Sydney and came back down to Melbourne and pushed Mark for a half marathon.
That's no joke either.
No.
Did you have to train?
I did. I bought a shopping cart in Manly, where I'm from in Sydney, and just ran up and down the beachfront, like trying to emulate what it would be like pushing someone. It was probably the worst training ever. But we ended up going to Melbourne and we pushed him. And what was beautiful about it was by the time the race, we got to the end, which was hours later, very heavy wheelchair. Mark had almost died at one point on the kilometre 19 because his air respirator broke. So we had to actually get a bag and fill him with air.
Oh, wow.
But he wanted to continue. And by the time we finished and as we crossed the finish line, there were 10, 15 people helping to push Mark, a lot of them strangers. And it just showed to me so clearly that we are all here to help and connect with one another. That's it. like innately as human beings, we want to connect and be of service. We just don't know how to do that all the time. And that, of course, spiraled me into what I do now, which is try and create those opportunities for people to be good. So, I mean, actually what happened was a lot of people then started getting in touch and they said, oh, we saw you push Mark and you helped me do this. And so I stopped my list at 72, started helping as many people as I could, often by just calling them if they were lonely.
You give me the chills.
Yeah, yeah.
That story in itself is amazing, man. What was it like at the finish line? Was there all kinds of people waiting around?
All kinds of people. I think it was 4.5 hours it took us, or 3.5 hours, which is a long time. And we got there and it was amazing. It was just a feeling of I felt for the first time like I was just exactly where I needed to be.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And so did everyone else. It's just and you could look around and people were in tears. People who were involved with it were in tears. People would come over and give Mark a hug. It was just this is what we're meant to be doing. I'm under no delusion about it. It's just that's why we're here. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I could have done anything. There were moments. I think when you do things that are important to you that help you grow, I think you get into a kind of state for an amount of time where you're just euphoric and you buzz and you just breathe deeply and you don't need to be anywhere else and you're at complete peace. And that's where I was at that point. It's where I've been at many other points throughout doing my list. And I get it every time now that I share a story of someone who needs help and a stranger connects. Like, for example, I mean, I could talk on and on and on about it, but just a 30-second rundown of it is I get approached by lots of people now who need help. I go out of my way to help people as much as I can. There was a reality show about it here in America, actually, called 100 Things. And what happened was there were all these people who needed help, but I couldn't help everybody, obviously. Mm-hmm. And for every one person we helped for an episode of the show, we said no to 100. So the reality was more people were not getting help than being helped. So then I started just sharing stories, as many as I could, of people I wasn't able to help myself. And strangers who were following me online would say, I'll help them. So I found myself in the middle of a marketplace where on one side everyone needed help, on the other side people wanted to help, they just needed to meet each other. So I thought, well, I should just that should be like a tool, like an online tool, like online dating, but for acts of kindness.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I moved here 3 years ago to LA because it seemed like a good place to start it.
Okay.
And that's what I've been working on since.
Oh, wow. Is it launched yet?
It's launched, yeah. Kindsome, the website, has launched.
And are people helping other people?
We've saved everything from like a dog's life. He was in an overpopulated pound. He was going to get put down. We needed a forever home. Somebody took him that day. To currently we're looking for a kidney for a lady who's on dialysis. She's got end-stage renal failure. Still looking. So if anyone's listening, obviously, get in touch. To things like people who are lonely. There are people calling strangers around the country, America and Australia, and it's making the world of difference. We just relocated a war veteran from Salem, Oregon to Colorado Springs, Colorado for health reasons. Him and his family and all his furniture needed to go. It's a 20-hour drive. Something like 20 volunteers got involved, complete strangers.
Wow.
Donation of a van, packing the van at one end, 2 people to drive 20 hours, unpacking the van at the other end. I mean, the stories go on and on and on, and it's just this beautiful thing that's happening very organically. I've up to now been doing it by myself, and now I just see there's absolute potential to, I think, change the world.
I can't wait to go on the site. That sounds amazing. So
it's
kindsome.com.
Kindsome, KINDSUM.com.
And you can go on there if you want to help someone or if you need some help yourself.
Yeah, so it's a platform.
I love how you're making it okay for people to ask for help too, because people have society has put this ego on us that says we shouldn't ask for help and support, and it's stupid, man. I agree. People want to help. People want to support.
If I need help, this is how I see it. If I need help and I present and I say, hey, I need help, I'm presenting you with an amazing opportunity to do what we're here to do, which is help.
I love how you say that. That's what we're here to do. That you went through all of these things, some of them wacky and crazy and exhilarating, some of them selfish, some of them just, like things that sound like things that would be interesting in life, like maybe delivering a baby, but then it came back to this realization that that's what we're here to do, is help people.
Completely. And so I think by saying, hey, I need help, putting your hand up and saying I need help, it gives you an opportunity, or anyone who wants to help, an opportunity to be good. You feel amazing, you help me, so I get help too. It's win-win. So it's a very healthy dynamic. As you say, culturally, I think there's, people worry about the stigma of being seen as weak or being overly vulnerable or I'm not worthy of receiving help, and that's all just rubbish. So I'm really tucking into that, trying to change what is that cultural sort of perception of help. And it's that's one of the challenges, the beautiful challenges with Kindsome is trying to change that. But there's a lot of people and a lot of brands, interestingly, more lately, who want to take on the challenge with me. So
Interesting.
I don't know where it's going to go, but there's some really interesting conversations going on.
What's one of the craziest requests that you've gotten that you've been able to help out with?
Well, the first person we promoted on there was Mark, who with the half marathon. He wanted to do a full marathon. I couldn't do it. He's very ambitious.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was like, thanks for doing that.
Okay.
I want to do a full marathon now, basically.
Okay. Even though he almost died.
Yeah, he almost died.
Man,
by the way,
guts,
he can't talk, right? So he has a pair of glasses with a laser on it, and that follows his eyes somehow, and that's how he types. But he's so eloquent and so funny and witty and smart. So he's very funny. So he sent me this email saying, that was great, but I want to do a marathon. I couldn't do it because I was speaking here in the US on the actual date. So we shared his story, 15 volunteers within a week or two signed up, and he's now done his marathon.
Wow. With all 15 taking shifts? Because, that's one person pushing. You'd have to be
It was like a baton. They batoned him. So there was like a team of four, something like that. I wasn't there. But this is the beautiful thing. Whereas
That's
before,
amazing. Yeah, it's
all had to happen
gotten bigger
through
than
me.
you.
Yeah, it's bigger than me. It's sort of scaled to a degree. The system is there for anyone to jump in, right? But yeah, finding a kidney for someone. There was someone in the US military, a girl, was a survivor of abuse. She just wanted to connect with other women who'd been through something similar, so she shared her story very vulnerably, very bravely, and she's now been inundated with people to talk to. So this is the other you don't have to do something drastic. You don't have to push someone in a wheelchair for a marathon to be of service or
Just
make a difference.
Get on the phone.
That's it. Be present in a conversation. Like, that's such a wonderful gift nowadays. Sadly, it's a reflection of where we're very much dismantled because of social media. But yeah, you can do anything. But I think there are people who have been suicidal and are now thriving in life.
And I'm gonna guess that when people receive, then they probably sign back up to help other people.
Absolutely. There's a guy called Keese. He lived in Bend, Oregon. Mm-hmm. His eldest son lost his life, and he promised his remaining children that he would build them a tree house, in memory of, but he couldn't build a tree house. So he shared his story on Kindsome. He needed volunteers. 22 people on one weekend over 3 days flew from all around the US to Bend, Oregon, and built this tree house with him.
Wow.
And now, so the point is, Keese now helps everyone else. So he's on the site constantly scouring to help people. It's amazing. He did something. He was the guy who he drove for 20 hours relocating the war veteran. 20 hours just to help a war veteran.
Wow, this is like a movement.
100%.
And I just hearing about it, I cannot wait to get on there and do some things, because it just seems like it'd be such like interesting and engaging and fulfilling ways to live.
And no one
knows. Is like, that's why I like what you say about like, this is what we're here for. I mean, this sounds like a great way to live. It sounds like if I was retired, not running my company, just doing these things every freaking day would be amazing.
You would be. And I mean, the truth is you can still do both. You need to give a day or you spend half an hour chatting to someone, and it saves a life.
Yeah.
No one knows this. It's quite cool. The website Kindsome was made by prisoners. So there's a program out of San Quentin prison where Johnny Cash played, and there was a riot years ago. I learned this. Did you hear about that?
Well, I'm a big Johnny Cash fan, so.
So you know that story? So he played in this prison. It's in
Folsom Prison, right?
San Quentin.
But that's the name of the song is Folsom Prison.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, but they have that live recording of him playing at that prison.
Oh, do they? I didn't even know that.
Is the quintessential Johnny Cash.
So there's a program in this prison nowadays called The Last Mile, ran by this incredible guy called Chris Redlitz and his wife Beverly, and it basically teaches inmates how to code. So when they come out of prison in San Francisco, they have a really sought after profession, skill set, and it's great. The rate of recidivity, I can never say that word. What is it when an inmate gets out and then they go back into jail? The recidivism. You're not going to help me, are you? That word, other people will know that word, so pretend I know it. That word is usually quite high. The percentage rate of people going back to jail is high. The people who go through the last mile, the recidivity rate is 0%. So it's an amazing program.
Wow.
Teaches all these people stuff.
That's awesome.
Chris asked me to go in and speak about my journey. I did. And then at the end of the talk, 4 inmates came over to me and they said, hey, can we build that site for you, Kindsome, that you started talking about? I said, absolutely. So I was having Skype calls, conference calls with 4 inmates every 2, 3, 4 weeks. I was at a WeWork here in LA.
They were building it from prison.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I would say, hey guys, how are you? And they're all in their blue jumpsuits. And I would take the laptop and I'd walk around and just talk to random people, show them outside. And yeah, it was amazing. So 4 inmates did it. 2 of them are out now, actually. And they're both on the site looking to help people using the site that they created. It's just amazing.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, it's almost like, you know, when you just do something that you feel, if you do something and you love it and it also has a residual positive effect for other people, the world shows up for stuff to happen. So whether it's prisoners,
Absolutely.
you know, and the next, I've never been very strategic with any of this stuff. You know, I'm just doing it because it feels good and I think it makes a difference. So I'm really excited to see where it goes next.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what else is on your personal list?
Well, there's a ton that I haven't done. So 28 I haven't done.
Okay.
And I think our lists change over time because our values change.
Sure.
But I mean, they're still like doing Olympic ski jump.
Whoa, are you a skier?
No.
Because that's no joke.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, technically all I need to be able to do is just go down and then, yeah. I mean, the landing is not important. The check is just going off. So does that make
It's the
sense?
landing that could be problematic, I imagine, though.
I actually made the mistake of Googling that, like ski jump crashes.
Have you seen Molly's Game?
No.
The opening shot
Yeah.
is her crashing on a ski jump.
Really?
It's gnarly,
Yeah. It's gnarly. So there's that. I wanna be in a Hollywood movie. I thought that would be quite fun, just to have a line. I want to catch a thief. That's still on there. But
cool.
they're not quite as apparent to me. They much more reflect me 10 years ago rather than now. So
I see, yeah.
But
well, it sounds like you've found your thing now.
Oh, 100%.
So
yeah.
I mean, what could be more fulfilling than
Yeah.
helping someone cross the finish line in a marathon?
Yeah.
Or you could go like potentially kill yourself on a ski jump.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it'd be such a shame to die doing that. I'd much rather die trying to take someone else out.
Yes.
So that's kind of it. Yeah. So I wouldn't change it for $1 billion. I mean, I really wouldn't. There's not one thing. If I could do anything on the planet, I'd be right here with you talking about this right now, because I think it'll help maybe one person, and it's a great day. I say and a lot. Don't I?
Well, I
just realised.
Gonna get
I'm gonna get a slap.
A little bit of a force.
Yeah.
That's gonna actually prepare you for the landing of the ski jump.
Yeah. Can we get out of the way? Can you slap me?
Well, I actually have an idea that I think would be really fun, especially for the folks at home.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna teach you a theater trick that I learned on a 4th grade field trip that has served me so well in life.
Okay.
All right, so it's a way
Yeah, good.
to fake a slap. It's a theater trick, a stuntman's trick, and it makes it a realistic slap that if you plan this out with, say, your girlfriend or a buddy or someone like that, and you do this in a restaurant, like people will lose their shit, but then you didn't actually slap the person.
Is there a risk to this?
There's 0 risk. Okay, so the way it goes is very simple. I'm trying to think how I could demonstrate it without giving away the magician's secret at first. I don't think I can.
Maybe you can edit it out and then you just slap me.
Well, if no one heard this prequel, they would, even watching on video, would not realize what happened. They'd think I just smacked you across the face. But basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your right hand up like this. Okay, but then just make it a little more casual. Like a little more chill like that. But keep it open. Okay? And now, I'm gonna go like this to give you a good one. And all you need to do is move your head as though you've gotten slapped. Okay, ready?
Yeah. You got me.
No, I didn't. But
so that looked
you
like
might
a
have
slap.
thought that I actually got him because you heard the sound. You heard that.
Can you do it one more time?
Yeah. You didn't move your head fast enough that time. The first time you did fine though. Yeah, so
that was good.
So you can be talking to somebody.
Yeah.
and you could be like, no, what the fuck, blah, 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 blah. And then like have them, if they, know to have their hands like this.
Okay.
And then when you put your hand back, they just kind of go like this, like, oh, don't hit me. Ah, boo. And then, okay.
That's really good. Can I try on you?
Yeah, you tried on me. Okay,
All right.
so now we're gonna do it. Oh, my nose is running, excuse me. We're gonna do it like actual real, and you're gonna do the right hand. So we're gonna do like we're in an argument.
So just to get this right, I'm just slapping your hand.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
we're in an argument.
Okay.
Yes, argue with me.
Okay. How dare you tell people that it was cold when I skydived?
It was cold, man. Your fucking penis, you could not even see it. It was so tiny, like. That was really bad. Even the argument wasn't
That was
even.
good. I couldn't commit to the
I think I
argument.
almost went the wrong.
Wow. Well, I'll take that. Thank you.
You got it though, right? You got it?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome,
That was
man.
better than a slap in the face.
Better than a slap in the face. And you can use that.
Yeah.
And you're a prankster.
Yeah.
So you will use this, I hope.
Can I tell you one more thing?
Of course. Yeah.
I'm going to say hit as much as you want. On my list is to do the ultimate prank, and I was living in Geneva, Switzerland, learning French, and there's a place there called Bandapaki, and it's a beautiful Lake Geneva. It was beautiful, and there's like a spit that goes out, and there's a little cafe, a restaurant on there, and I was there, and Geneva's interesting because it's kind of not boring, but it just feels like there's not much happening.
I've been, yeah.
Yeah, do you agree?
It's quaint, but it's.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's real soul there or anything. So I was there with a mate, and I was like, it'd be amazing if we just came up with like some sort of story that just got everyone talking,
Okay.
Like a sea monster. Sounds ridiculous. I mean, how do I condense this story? Essentially, we came up with the best prank ever, which was, I was playing rugby there, so I got my whole team to ring in separately throughout the day saying that they'd seen a large serpent type thing in the water. Someone noticed that there was a big dragon's head coming out of the water, those types of stories. The plan two.
And you just spread it all around?
Yeah, so there was about 30 people who called the radio station that day.
Oh, okay.
The second phase was that we were going to make a dragon's head. We had a guy in the team who was like an artist. And he could do that. He was a theatre guy. And then we were going to take a grainy photo and send it into the thing. Then we were going to actually have the dragon's head. We had a scuba diver in the team get floated around Bandapaki on a busy day so that then actual other people we didn't know would start calling in, just causing a lot of interest.
Yeah, yeah.
And then me and Maddie had a little wooden boat, and we were going to go out into the water, kick a hole in it, sink, and get rescued by a friend, and then tell the story that somebody just hit the boat.
So you can prank the whole town. I like this.
And I was convinced it was going to win.
Okay.
So about 30 of us rang on day one, and people started talking about it in Geneva. The radio stations were then talking about it, and then someone didn't put my phone on silent, so they called me, and they said, I go, hi, and they're like, is this Sebastian? Because they sort of knew me at that point because I was doing my list. And I said, yes. I went, oh, you're just trying to do a prank, aren't you? And I was like,
Oh, man.
I think it would have won, but yeah. Anyway.
Oh, it was a competition?
No, I don't know why I said one. I think it would have worked. It would have
Okay,
worked. It would have
got
been a great prank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, didn't work.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
My man, thanks so much.
We're done?
This is amazing.
Are you kidding? Oh, I was just getting into it.
I know.
Thank you.
We might have to do a part two.
Yeah.
Show the shirt. I want people to recognize kindsome.com.
Yeah.
And go on the site, find someone you can help out, put up something you could use support with yourself, do something, get involved. It's gonna feel great. Sebastian, thanks for sharing your stories, man.
Thank you.
It's been hilarious. I think we're definitely
Thank you for not
gonna do this
slapping me.
again. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to hear a story that's even wilder than that one, click here. You only have 5 seconds though. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!